Hello everyone, today we have 2017 Mitsubishi Mirage G4 sedan. We have the airbag light on, and this car I have a reset early the crash data, and it was working fine. For some reason the car came back after a few months, and it has airbag light on. And when I scan the car, I don't see any fault in the airbag module. But let's do it together step by step. So let me show you what I was going to do before we start over, in case if you want to skip to the end of the video, or you want to, so you can save your time. So first, in this case, I believe there is something with the CAN system, because the customer hit the car in the front right here. So the customer hit the car over here on this side. I checked the fuses, it was good. I checked the inner fuse as well, it was okay. So the second thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna check the CAN bus system from this side up to all the way to the airbag module. But I noticed something. This car was sitting, it looks like the customer was parked somewhere where I can see this little confetti, and it looks like a mice has got here. So I'm not sure there is a wire. Anyway, I'm gonna take the airbag module out if I couldn't figure out, because most of the Japanese cars, the airbag module and the EBS, it has the end resistor, the terminal resistor for the CAN bus. So we're gonna go ahead first. We're gonna measure the resistance. So let's go ahead first and see what's the code. Okay, so we're gonna go system selection, and we're gonna go airbag. So the ECU 48 whatever, okay. We're gonna get read full code. There's no diagnostic trouble code, so lock, and we still have the light on. Go exit. Okay, come back. And let's see the ELC. Okay, electronic lung ACs. Okay, let's see that. Okay, read full code. Here you go. Tire pressure. No, we don't care about the tire pressure. We can do this, register the tire pressure later on, so that's not a big deal. So let's go back. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a health scan while I explain to you how the CAN bus work and how we figure out. So by the time I'm gonna do health report and complete scan, let me show you quick very how it works. So anytime that we're gonna work with two resistors, in the line, so let's say if this resistor 1, which is sometimes it resisting the ABS, and the resistor 2, which is sometimes the airbag, most of the time for the Japanese. So in this case, you have the two resistors in series, which is not our case in the car. So if you have this in series, the R total is gonna be R1 plus R2. So let's say this is 5 and this is 2, so R total is gonna be 7. Okay, 7 ohms. All right. So in our case, the CAN bus is gonna be in parallel, like that. So R1 and R2. So R total in this case is gonna be R total is gonna be the low is gonna be 1 over R total equal 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2. That means if you have this 120 and 120 ohm, when you measure here, you're supposed to get 60 ohm. Okay, if you get 120 ohm, that means one of them is out. That's the purpose to have it in parallel in the car. So in this case, when you measure between, let's say, the OBD block so number 3 and 13, that's supposed to be your can high and can low. And number 16 is gonna be the power, be positive, and number 4 and 5 is gonna be your negative 12 volt. Okay, and we're gonna measure the CAN bus from this side first, and then we're gonna go ahead, take the airbag module and measure from the socket. Make sure the wire, since we have this confetti, otherwise I'm not gonna do it, but since we have this right here, just to make sure there is no wire is broken or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead first, measure the resistance from the OBD and get the resistance from the airbag plug. If everything is good, we have to open the airbag and then we follow the can high and can low and the power. So our scan is finished, and as we see is U0151 SRS airbag can timeout. Can timeout, that means it has a cycle time when it's looking for the airbag. So when this airbag is not found, this is timed out. And most likely this is gonna create MIL with manufacturer indicator lamp on for the airbag. Okay, so we already know how it works. So if you get this right here, 1 over R total is gonna be 1 over 120 plus 1 over 120. Okay, so if you get the total, it's gonna be 2 over 2 over 120. Okay, so 1 over R total bتساوي 2 over 120. If we divide by 2 equal 1, 2 equals 60. When you flip it over, R total equals 60 ohm. Okay, so that's how it works, guys. I'm gonna check first by the OBD, make sure everything to the OBD is good. If you get the 60 ohm, will be perfect. We're gonna go ahead either to see what is the last work being done, either in the airbag module or the ABS. So we don't touch the ABS, and because you have to start from one point. You have to see what is the history. When the customer drops the car, you have to ask him a few questions. What was wrong with it? The car was working fine? Is the car was like, it was like that? So you have to find out where to start. So I believe like you can see the job. So by the time when you work a lot in these cars, you're gonna feel what's going on and you're gonna feel it exactly where to go. So once you ask the customer and it tells you, oh, that this and this, and you already know some history of the car, you're gonna know where to start. So either to have a brake box for the OBD, okay, or if you have an OBD extension like cord like that, I will take it out and let me see if I can do that with one hand. So we're gonna get our multimeters and right. Let me see if we have power first. I already have power because I can see my scan tool is connected. So if your scan tool is not connected, to the OBD, or you cannot connect to the OBD, make sure the OBD first is good. So I believe this side of the airbag of the OBD is good. So I'm gonna turn off the car. I'm gonna take the module out. Take the part number to see what is the pin out for the can high and can low and the power positive and negative, and then I will pause the video until we take the airbag out and turn off the car, so we're not gonna cause any damage. Okay guys, so now we're gonna do the CAN bus resistor test. So I have some spare OBD2, and I think you should have some too, in case if you're gonna do programming on bench or anything like that. So you're gonna have like one or two spare. Make sure you have one is full, in case if you're gonna do with GMC, you're gonna need bin number 1. Over here, if you're gonna use Carbrogue to reset the airbag module for the GMC and Chevrolet, so you're gonna use bin number 1 with a ground to reset it using the iBrogue or Carbrogue. So you know 4 and 5 is gonna be a ground, and number 16 is gonna be the power. It's right here. And when you have a spare like that, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the pin number is. So you're gonna have the female in the car, and you're gonna have like extension like that I prefer, so you don't have to go all the way down. And I know that my extension is good, I tested before. So instead you're gonna be under the car, which is gonna be a hard position. I usually use a spare one like that, or I usually have like couples in case if I need to have extra bin, 4, 5, or you know. And it's good also to have a breaker box. You can do it yourself. It's very cheap, or you can buy it, or if you have spare time, just get this wire connected to extra terminal. You're gonna connect your multimeter. Okay, so before you're gonna do this test, you need to disconnect the battery, as I show you right now. So we disconnect the battery, okay? And for Mitsubishi, it's gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be number 3 and number 9, 10, 11. So, and we have the resistor test 57, which is okay, as we said before yesterday. I mean, as we said before early in the video, it's gonna be around 60 ohm. So that means, and I don't have the airbag connected. So look, so the airbag is not connected yet, and I have 60 ohm. That means the end resistor for the CAN bus is not in the airbag. So the airbag the CAN bus for this car, for most likely Mitsubishi, is gonna be in the ECM, ECU, and the ABS. Okay, so I get this right here with a little nib. Also be careful when you do this test, never stick the multimeter inside over here. Otherwise, when you try to use this one back again, you're not gonna have no communication with OBD. And also when I do this over here, I prefer to damage my connection, not to damage the car, the board to the car. So some people, they do a big mistake is when you get the probe or any stick probe for the multimeter, and you stick it inside the OBD, which is get this bin a little bit bigger. And any time that you're gonna have a scan tool, you're not gonna have a communication. So be careful with this. Never stick anything bigger over here, because there is no matter what that when you get your scan tool, you're gonna have no communication with the car. That's one of the big issue, especially when you have your car coming from different shop. So never do this. So I prefer to have like a bin like that. Stick it very gently, not even all the way in. I get what I need, so I know it's gonna be 60, so that means the CAN bus for this car is good. And for the Mitsubishi, it's gonna be between 3 and 9, 10, 11. So 9 and 11. So you get this like that over loop, and then when you connect it, 1, 2, 3, it's gonna be right here, 57, which is close to 60 ohm, which is okay. So now let's see if this is gonna change. I have this still connected on 57. Let's see if this is gonna change while I'm connecting the airbag module. So the airbag module, as I said before, I found one of the Abram legs is not really mounted right in the board, but I still can read. I can read the part number, but it's failing to read the error. So I'm wondering if and also when I have this, I touched the processor. It was very extremely hot, so I did another test. I removed the Abram out, and I tested the processor to see if it's hot or not. Usually when you have a hot or overheat part in the board, try to remove the last thing that you work on. It could be the issue, and it was. So I removed the apron, and I get the processor cooled down, which is I left it like 5-10 minutes, because even before I removed the apron, the processor was really hot, not even 2 minutes plugged into the external power supply. So let's see if this is gonna change. Hopefully it's not, since we already have the 60 ohms, so I don't think anything gonna change, but let's try. Make sure it's connected, and I have the battery disconnected. All right, and I still have like 56 ohm. So I'm not sure if I can find this part number for Mitsubishi and replace the apron, or it could be something wrong with the crash data. So since I already can read the part number for the airbag module, and I have the surface mode set okay, that means it's something wrong. Sometimes that happens when you clear the crash, especially when the crash file is not tested. Sometimes the calculator it damages the file. That's why I always keep the original file with me before, with the crash one. So now we make sure the CAN bus is good, and I know it's good. So now our issue is with the airbag itself. So hopefully, if I couldn't get another calculator to dump the file in, I will try to find another module, but I still gonna have an issue with the file. So I use like 2-3 calculators to clear the file and compare it. But I have, for my experience, and I have very good feeling, and that's the dump file that when I clean the file is an issue. The only test that I need to try is dump the crash file, the original with the crash, in, and I see if I can, if I get this with a crash. If I can read it after I dump the crash, if I dump the bad file with a crash on it, and I read the error, that means the clean file that I write it in the apron is bad. Come from the bad calculator. If I have the same issue, that means maybe it could be the apron, could be something else. But I don't have time to do this again. I prefer to buy another airbag module, because this airbag, when it's deployed, is generate a lot of volt. So, and it could be some damage some other part. And because this is a little cheap, so I don't want to waste my time, chasing the airbag module back again. But at least I know that I have power, and I have my CAN bus is good, and even I run a power test. Since I see this it looks like a mice was here because the car was sitting. So I measure the power to the airbag all the way to the front, and I have no voltage drop. But because I do it with two hands, I couldn't get it in the video. But one thing you need to do is you can run a voltage drop between the power for the airbag all the way to the main power, or the power to the OBD, to see what's going on, to make sure you have a good connection. So you're gonna do voltage drop to make sure that you have volt, and then you're gonna do ground measurement between here and the battery, or between here and over here, to make sure that you have the good ground to the airbag. So hopefully that's it. If I have any other, if I come up with something, I will make another little bit piece of video to continue with this. But at least we already know we're gonna just make sure before you're gonna measure the CAN bus for the car, you disconnect the battery and do like this. Never damage your board. I prefer to have extension. Never play with a car board. Okay. See you guys in the next one, in the next video. I hope this video helps someone. If you have any questions or any comment, write it down below, and next time we can do a little bit more deeper video if we have a chance. Thank you. Okay guys, so I measured the resistance for the airbag. It was like 4 kilo ohm right here between the can high and can low, and there should be something inside the airbag module itself. So I got this number in 8635A. I got the pin out for this. So when I measure between these two pins, this one right here, the can high and can low, I should have 120 ohms. I don't have 120 ohms, so I start with this first, just to make sure I'm not gonna waste more time, as if I found 120 ohm, I will go for the next step. So that's for the Mirage 8635A26, and that's the same one, 8635A426, and the Abram that we have the crash on is 95640, and that's for the pin can high, can low. And then if you go for the airbag, when you measure, I have power already to it. So I have power over here, this two power, number 1 and 2 from the bottom left, and then empty one, and then the third one is gonna be ground, which is this one right here. Okay, and then the can high, can low for this one right here, for the bottom one. Okay, and there's a plug. The plugs go this way for the airbag. So the bottom left is the power and ground, and I don't have the, it's a big ohm. That's why it takes too long time for the scan to, to communicate between the other module. That's why it's timed out. So we need to find out why it's timed out. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pause the video, then we're gonna open this, and we're gonna follow the circuit, the printed circuit board, step by step until we get it fixed. I have fixed this in the Hyundai Sonata 2017, like last week, but I couldn't make a video. I was really busy, so I'll try to get this step by step, and then I'll show you guys what we're gonna do. Right, stay with me. Okay guys, so I check the airbag module out. Even when I scanned the barcode, the QR code over here, it didn't give me any information or the layout. Some airbag module, when you scan this R code, even under the magnifier, you still can scan it, and it gives you the layout. So some of them you can scan this and it gives you the layout for the board, but for this one doesn't give me anything. So I connected for the can high and can low and the ground, as we see before in the diagram. So when I try to connect, it reads the airbag number. See that? But it doesn't read the error. So every time set surface mode is okay, but when it reads the error, it fails. And I already connected to the power supply 12 plus from the external power supply, because this one is not in the car. So when you have this fault, it reads the Abram and read error failed. That means the Abram that we fix, or the Abram sometime when you do with the heat gun from previous repair, this one right here is not good. So this one is 95640, as you can see right here. Oh, let me get you some light. Okay. So this one is 95640. Get this light up. Anyway, so that's the one. So we're gonna go ahead and replace it with a new one, and sometime it fixes the problem. Otherwise, we need to dig some more. So when you flip the airbag module in the other side, that's the can high, can low from the back all the way in the bottom. This is gonna be the first two pin, and then you're gonna follow this pin. You're gonna follow this pin and this pin for the can high and can low for the diagram that I showed you before. All right, for this one right here. So when you flip it over, it's gonna be this one and this one, and then you follow the circuit. So it was something interesting that I found one of the diodes. So right here, let me show it to you guys. Okay, so this diode right here was not reading for some reason. So when you follow this and that, I have this diode is not reading, and this diode also is not reading. And what was interesting is this capacitor too. It doesn't give me. This one says 25 volt, 47 microfarad. You see that? 25 volt, 47 microfarad. Doesn't give me 47 microfarad. Even when I discharge it, I know I have to take it out of the circuit, but for some reason it's supposed to give me something like relative or something close to it. But I'm not gonna rely on this for now. And as I can do, I will go ahead and replace the 95640, this one right here, which is usually I carry brand new ones. So usually I get this one is 95128. That's a regular one. No, there's not. This one is good for Nissan and some other model like Hyundai. I don't want to take it out for now. Just save some time. But as you can see, guys, I'll show it to you. And what is it? 95A320 SBI, which is the regular one, 32 kilowatt. And all the part, guys, make sure is good quality, like Japan. And okay, so this one is 95640, but this one is SSOB. This one is good for Honda. Let me show it to you very fast right here. So when you get this one, it's better to have this Abrams. Otherwise, you're gonna go ahead and replace the whole ECU. So this one is the SSOB. This one right here. It's a brand new, and it's good to have it in hand. Even you can, you know, it's right here. Okay. So our is gonna be 95640 is the regular one, white. So I think I got some over here. So 95640 WMN6B, which is 64 kilobyte. Okay, SBI 20 megahertz. So this one is a 20 megahertz. Anything that you're gonna buy, make sure it's 20 megahertz and up. So that's gonna be a fast switch. And make sure it's gonna be ROHS compliant, okay? All right, so STME Microelectronics, and this one is from Philippines, okay? Let's go ahead and open this. Hold on, guys. All right, so I'll share it to you. And then I'll try to get the file and open it and write it back to the new one. So it's right here. So you get bag of 10 or 5, and depend about how much you use it. But I prefer that you're gonna have most likely it's gonna be 5 a bag like that. You open it from the end, you take it out, and then you write the clean file or the Abram. You write it back. Even sometimes sometimes some airbag module you're gonna have a crystal. So make sure if you have a crystal for any airbag, when you write it, especially in circuit, make sure you short out the crystal. So hopefully we're gonna do this next time when we have a chance. So anytime you're gonna see a crystal in the airbag, don't write while in circuit. You have to take the Abram out, like the one in Kia and Hyundai. So some of them in Kia and Hyundai. Let me see this. Well, this one doesn't have a crystal. So anyway, so next time when we have one with a crystal, I will show you the difference. So because once you're gonna write it in circuit, you're gonna have a lot of issues. And when you try to scan it with a scanner, it's gonna show you like internal failure or SRS malfunctions. So just to avoid an issue and you do the job one time, you don't have to do it many times. So anything with the crystal in circuit, you have to short it out in order to write and read while in circuit, especially write, or you have to take the Abram out. So now since we already have a brand new one, I'm gonna go ahead and dump the file on it and take this one out. Okay, take this one out, the 640. And clean it, and then let's see what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna go for the next step. And before, we already have the power supply. So number 1 and number 3 is supposed to be 12 volts. Let's say I got the 12 volt right here. Okay, so let's go back and find out. Right here. Okay. All right. Okay, so I take the Abram out. Because I couldn't have the file for this module, so I will read this and then dump it in the new one. So the new one is original ST, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it from here or not, but it's original 95640 anyway, so. All right, so I'll go ahead and read this and then dump the file to the new one and then go read. Pin number 5 is not connected, so 1 2 3 4. Try again. Number 5 again. Okay, so let's do this. Sometimes the leg, when you remove it, it bends a little bit and need to be in contact with the programmer. So okay. All right, I will pause the video, try to fix this very quick. It could be it's not touching the Abram. So I will fix this very quick with 2 hands and then I'll get back to you. Okay, I pushed it a little bit down. Now it should be okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and read it. All right, so. All right, so. And we have the board number, which is all this. Yeah, so 8638 863-5A02. Okay, 02600. And the VIN number of the car. Okay. And 01620. Actual YLZ1. Okay. So that's a clean file anyway, so yeah, so we're gonna get this one and dump it to the new one right here, and then we board it back in the airbag. So I'm gonna make this very quick so we don't have to make the video longer, and should be quick and easy, and let's see how it goes. Okay, I get the new one inside the programmer, and it should be, if you can read it like that, ST640. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try it right. All right, right. So make sure write memory done, verify is done. So you're not gonna have an issue with any line missing. So okay. So remember, I'm trying to do a video next time for how to decode this and how you read the hexadecimal to the ASCII or text file. So we're gonna do this hopefully next time or the time after. All right, I'll pause the videos, get this one soldered back in, and see how it goes. Okay guys, so after replacing the apron, I have to replace the old one back again, but I have no connection failed, surface mode failed. So when I try to touch the processor, the Infineon processor on this side, it was extremely hot. If I have the thermal camera, you're gonna see it. It's very hot. I cannot even stand it. So this one is okay, but this one is extremely hot, very hot. If I have the thermal camera right now, I'll show it to you, but I cannot even touch it. So it looks like it will need a lot of repair. So I don't have time to this. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and replace. The module itself. So hopefully this will fix. If I have any other fix, I will post it in different video then. Thank you. I hope this video helped you someone, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.